I hate to break it to you, but there are some pro-life arguments that are really, really bad. And I don't want you to use them. I want you to actually use the good reasons that we have to say that abortion is always wrong because it intentionally kills an innocent human. Now, there are some pro-lifers who go around saying arguments that they're very well intentioned, they mean well, but they actually don't do a good job responding to pro-abortion claims, and they actually set the pro-life movement back because of how illogical or how inconsistent their claims are. And so I want to run through with you some really bad pro-life arguments. I'm going to do a series on this so that you can be equipped to have the good arguments ready and to leave the bad arguments aside. One of the really bad pro-life arguments that I've heard people use goes something like this. If you are declared dead when your heart stops beating, then why aren't you declared alive when your heart starts beating? Another way that this can sometimes be expressed is people at pro-life marches holding signs that say, "Abortion stops a beating heart." Now, why do I say that these signs, that these arguments are inconsistent? Well, they're inconsistent because it bases the value of a human being on whether or not they have a heartbeat. And this is inconsistent because not every person without a heartbeat is dead. There are people without heartbeats who are very much alive and still deserve human dignity and the right to life. An example of this could be someone who is going through a heart transplant. They're laying there on the operating table. Obviously, their heart is not beating properly. It is not working, and so it needs to be removed and replaced. But that person is not dead. That person still deserves the right to life. If a crazy person was to walk into the operating room with a gun and shoot the patient in the middle of a heart surgery, the doctors and the staff would rightly be shocked and horrified because a murder had taken place. Even if the gunman says, well, his heart wasn't beating, so, there's nothing wrong with me shooting him. No, the person's value doesn't come from the fact that he has a heartbeat. It comes from the fact that he is a living human being. In the same way, if you apply this to preborn children, most preborn children do have a heartbeat. Probably around 3 weeks into gestation is when most babies' hearts start beating. Their little preborn hearts start beating about 21 days after fertilization. But if you say that that is the reason why they have value, then you are being inconsistent with all those other preborn children that are too young to have yet developed a heartbeat. And so to say abortion stops a beating heart is often true, but not always the case, because there are forms of abortion that kill a child before the baby has developed a heartbeat, and that kind of abortion is just as wrong as the abortions that take place after the baby has a heartbeat. And so instead of using this inconsistent pro-life argument, I propose that you use something that is much more rock solid, much more logical in saying that abortion is wrong not because it kills someone with a heartbeat, but just because it kills someone, because it kills an innocent baby. Whether or not the heart has developed yet, that baby has dignity, has worth, has value as an image bearer of God. And so abortion, whether or not it takes place before or after a heartbeat, is always wrong.